Pancakes on avocado, I'm like a bird. Let me fly away, Nelly Furtado. Bye.
Yeah, in London, stand up. Do the he say, she say, getting no delay. Run it like relay, bro, you ain't got it like this. In my part C straight, big fur jacket from eBay, looking timeless. I gotta let my skin fade marinate. We gotta toast up, celebrate. Everyone scream next up, but I'm the #1 candidate. Captain's armband, I'm making key plays. When I'm doing shows, gotta get it all prepaid. What you I'm on it, break, no side, know about these ways. I gotta let my skin fade marinate. We gotta toast up, celebrate. Everyone scream next up, but I'm the #1 candidate. Starboy excellence. That's me. Them other guys irrelevant. They all on. Zoe Camp, it's half white, half melanin. Baby face and a white gold tooth cap. I treat the waiter nice, she love that. I mix the blueberry pie. It's not what I wear, it's how I rock that. If I can buy that twice, I'll cop that. Sweet 110, spot that, chop that. Tryna lock me at the teller, it's not that. Do the he say, she say, getting no delay. Run it like relay, bro, you ain't got it like this. In my part C straight, big fur jacket from eBay, looking timeless. I gotta let my skin fade marinate. We gotta toast up, celebrate. Everyone scream next up, but I'm the #1 candidate. I'm a #1 like you say, set pace. Used to kick ball on the estate back then. T90s with the Levi's matching. Rips in the denim, that's classic. These beats get wrapped like Futamaki, that's a sushi roll. I'm a young CEO, gotta do as you're told. Gotta act your stat, gotta play your role. I was OT, all shutting down shows from A to B, long way to go. About time they know about me. Hello, the jiggle and clap, jello. I've been on top, where they at? Below, presidential flow, Marilyn Monroe. I got pounds, got euros, stacking them both. I'll stick. Do the he say, she say, getting no delay. Run it like relay, bro, you ain't got it like this. In my part C straight, big fur jacket from eBay, looking timeless. I gotta let my skin fade marinate. We gotta toast up, celebrate. Everyone scream next up, but I'm the #1 candidate. Captain's armband, I'm making key plays. When I'm doing shows, gotta get it all prepaid. What you I'm on it, break, no side, know about these ways. I gotta let my skin fade marinate. We gotta toast up, celebrate. Everyone scream next up, but I'm the #1 candidate.
Why would I hold a man for ransom when my scope like Richard Branson? Since the base we're making anthems over seasons with the man in black is teasing with my patterns. Pretty girls, you think I'm handsome, just coasting through these mantras. I'm not bossing, I'm advancing. I'ma keep it moving, tryna be on before be low. Wanna be intimate with soul, explore this war before I go. And that's some hours in my feng shui. Now it's like work for 10K, all cause it is pen gaming. Been insane in the membrane since them days where we raved for 3 days and 4 nights and took them red-eye flights. Hop straight off the plane and through the back door of the place. Then I stepped on stage, they were like, see the crowd going, they were like, so I stepped on stage, they were like, ooh yeah. See the crowd going, they were like, oh yeah. Crazed and courageous, raised by some
know they go thinking I'm one enough. She keep looking at me like she feeling me. Girl, the way you be moving, the stuff you be doing, you tripping out and it's killing me.
Man, that's what I got, you be tripping. I can't even do it, my go from Tiffany. Damn, man, she tryna cut me off. No, she cannot do it, no, she cannot scissor me. Mark your spot, that boy get don't send him the car, he finna get blessed on. I get the pay, but I'm talking about Benjamin Franklin, not talking about the one that you sketch on.
He play dumb, get his gone. Hit a crib, but he loving on red bone. Now I'm hard to reach, I'm bout my cheese, I'm moving around with 2 phones. Move around like an island boy, but it ain't for the head, cause I keep me a vest on. Get down like the Backstreet Boys, cause it make you dance, but you better get your groove on.
And I'm not talking about, but it too strong. Talking, then we get it started, pull up in the U-Haul, you get your move
And they
on.
know they ain't seeing us. You pour all of your pain in that double cup. Wanna step at yourself, are you good enough? Wanna step at yourself, are you hood enough? If I hear them kids, know you pulling up. And now you laid out, they no getting up. I'm with your girl in the bedroom, and it sound like shit.
I draw that little boy, ain't no getting up. Shorty, yo, horsey, I told her they my young city, yo. The granny, I had to tell her pick it. You wanna feed, now anything under 18, just like met this from the club. She like 5'3", I think it ain't Lydia.
You know we unstoppable, man, it's impossible to stop us, we for sure on the road. Stay to myself, stay off the medium, chillin', ain't gon' play with the trolls. Going 100 in the I-8, I pray to God we don't lose control. Know I'm on a paper chase, my little whip on cruise control.
Run it back. Lost everything I ever wanted it back.
Oh, the cold weather certainly helping set the stage for what should be a physical primetime contest at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. But tonight we start Week 9 with a good one in primetime, as it'll be the Tennessee Titans taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will not be returned to start the game. The new rule here in effect. A fair catch will bring this out to the 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll run it again with Henry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 16 yards there, a Tennessee first down. Good job there. Pretty simple. The hole was created. Runner just darted right through.
Yeah, that's the kind of play teams are looking for to have some success early in a ball game. If you're an offensive play caller, you mark that run down. Make sure you keep coming back to it throughout the game until they stop it.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Let's go. Off the play fake, Levis. Oh, his first throw of the game, going to be intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. Time will tell if that's an interception that rattles the rookie here. First drive on the road.
And you know the discussion going into the game centered on, okay, let's get out nice and easy, take care of the football, we're on the road. You're a youngster, let's not make mistakes early. But now the conversation will shift to, okay, put it behind you, move on. Long way to go in this one.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Harris running straight ahead. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Looking to throw, Pickett. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Fryermuth. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over. But he ended up finding another receiver.
And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Pickett now to throw off the play fake. They'll roll him out right. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Nice job escaping the pocket. And, boy, he took the shot downfield towards the end zone, didn't he? Trying to go for 6. It just wasn't there against that coverage. They were ready to prevent the big play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. They called the corner blitz, and Roger McCreary, he got in there and earned the sack. So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there, all the things that have gone on, and the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And they'll be looking to make amends for that first drive, which came to a rather abrupt ending.
Certainly did, and I remember going back to my notes before this game, and a lot of times when I scout a guy, I have a little section about how does he handle adversity. And in this case, a big check mark. He may have thrown the first interception, but I don't think he's going to throw very many more.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Again, it's Henry. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. You look at this Steeler defense, and they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, it'd easily move into the top 5.
Levis back to throw. They set up the screen for Henry. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Well, they go play action. Here's Levis. Throw here taken in by Wiley, the tight end. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 45-yard line. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. He's going to look deep, end zone for Hopkins. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And Levis going back to the air. That'll be complete to Okonkwo. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
Quick throw into the hands of Hopkins out wide. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Two chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Three 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Titans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Able to find down. That's a Titans touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Titans have taken the lead. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
And he returns this to the 22. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 3. Going to run the toss here to Harris. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Let's go now.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. Pickett will look to throw it here. This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with a throw to the safety valve, and it's 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on fourth. They're going for this. Pickett. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. A first down carry for Henry. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The slot man in motion right. Back to throw, it's Levis. This will go to Henry out wide. So the completion gets him just a yard. 3rd and 7 now.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Levis looking to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. There he goes, right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo, you said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fair catch going to be taken, and this will be moved out to the 25. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles, is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group, and sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there.
On second down, here's Henry. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
And that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down, and you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Henry. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Ball on the 39. Here's second down and 8. He'll get that complete to Dell. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And Levis completes this out wide. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Levis now off of play action. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And the Steelers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half throwing the football. Charles, now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it second down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Setting up the screen, Harris. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Pickett to throw on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Pickett throwing again on second down. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Pickett back to throw. A short one there to Freiermuth. Oh, some strong running. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar, and that will keep this a 3-point game. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. They begin with Henry. Down the right sideline. Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry. with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Titans will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there, a touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Extra point up and good by Folk. And the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Able to fight through one tackle. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. With his slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. He's got his man downfield. It's Robinson. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. Pickett. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
60 Bobcat! 60 Bobcat! Come 19! Come 19!
Back to throw. Pickett. Flush to his right. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Trap 60! Trap 60! 60 Maverick! 60 Maverick!
From the gun, here's Pickett. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That's taken on the 25. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Levis to throw off play action. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10.
19 Tiger! 19 Tiger! Tiger 60!
Working from the gun, here's Levis. Under pressure, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Now Pickett. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's one of those where it feels like backyard football in a sense. You say, forget about the route. Just run to the open spot in the middle of the field, and I'll find you. Good throw, good concentration on the catch, and they pick up the first down.
Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll let it fly for Austin. It's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Take it at the 37. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And slow going there as they'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Levis, quick completion out wide. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Titans. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Titans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces to see the present, making plays, and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain of 32 that time. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game, and on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Here's a 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Pickett. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now.
Pickett lost it. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
A 2nd down throw from Levis. And his throw is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it, and oftentimes knock it away.
Now the terrible towel is in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
And with the way things have gone so far tonight, I figured this was going to be a touchdown because he's wide open. But instead, the ball's laid out just a bit too far, and they come up empty.
just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fighting through it, he's got space. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean,
and that's caught inside the 30. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Calvin Austin, 63 yards. And the Steelers are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Pickett and the rest of the Steeler offense staying on the field. They'll go for 2. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call. And he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion. And now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
But no run back here. Fair catch, and this will come out to the 25. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. Derrick Henry all alone. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 116 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. So it was already a gain on the completion, but tack on some more with that penalty.
Absolutely, and no matter what angle you're making the tackle from, you can't grab the face mask, and that's just putting your defense on its heels just a little bit more.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 10. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6. And now it's 3rd and 3. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Again to Henry. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to swell the lead to 6. Folks' kick is good, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
On a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here we go, here we
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, and it's caught inside the 30. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Calvin Austin, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Steelers strike quickly here to tie up the ball game. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Now Levis. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing to look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. But they go play action. Here's Levis. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down. Desperation time now. Here's Levis. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one good for 17 yards on 4th. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. 1st down.
Let's go.
Henry up the middle. They'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 6. Now a handoff to Henry. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 130 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. So after some runs, now they'll throw with Levis. Rolling to his right. Throw here taken in by Wiley, the tight end. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. What a kickoff to the week this has been. Now a big play. It's third down. And the busy night for Henry continues. And he will have a Titans first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight one-point game. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Oh, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Oh, this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
As a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. They'll come up now on 2nd down. Derrick Henry.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Well, the noise got to be an issue now offensively. Here's 3rd and 6. Throw left side complete. That's Hopkins. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Here it is, 4th and inches. Tried the hard count, but to no avail.
Trying to do anything to get them to jump off sides and pick up a first down easily. Instead, it goes against them.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for the lead in the final stages. Folks, kick is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
This is 1st and 10. Now Pickett. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. I see you nodding your head up and down. It's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
Pickett to throw. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked up by Christian Fulton. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do. but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. But that's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Now it's Henry. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there.
All right, just go ahead and say it with me. That was a
mistake.
Yeah, sure, without a doubt. Because at some point, put your foot in the ground, get upfield, and get down protecting the ball. Don't go out of bounds, because when you go out of bounds, you're really just helping the defense.
Yeah, not to be too hyperbolic, but it's like giving the D an extra timeout, isn't it?
It certainly is. Gives them a chance to regroup, and it means you have to snap the ball an additional time, which always means the possibility of a mistake.
So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory, and a little bit of a surprise they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ballgame.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's